All right. So do everybody see this blue part here? That is the neocortex. All right. That's the part of your brain that controls thinking. It's the mammalian brain. And the reptilian brain is the orange, and the limbic system is the green. So the stimulus comes from your eyes or your ears. You hear a sound, you're triggered by something, and that goes through the stem of the brain where the reptilian brain and the limbic system are. And that happens before it gets to your thinking part of the brain. So your body has already reacted before your logical sense turns on. So just to give you an idea what happens in the mammalian brain, these are the things that the neocortex controls. So your bodily functions, your reason, your language, your decision making. See these last three: decision making, problem solving, and critical thinking. So if we go back to the brain picture, that little red dot in the middle, that is your amygdala, and that is where emotions are. That is the center of emotions there. So you are triggered when your amygdala is active. So when you are triggered, the reptilian brain is saying two questions: do I eat it or does it eat me? All right. So you've heard of fight, flight, and freeze. So you are triggered when you are in this state. All right, just so that you're aware. I know this is a little heady, a little nerdy, but understand what's happening in the brain. So everything that is in the neocortex, all of your thinking, all of your logic, all of your critical thinking, your problem solving, your decision making is shut off when you are in the what we call an amygdala hijack. Okay, so a hijack is an immediate, overwhelming emotional response with a later realization that the response was inappropriately strong. Okay, so why is your response so inappropriately strong? The reason is that your body cannot tell the difference from being attacked by a tiger and I'm stressed because bills didn't get paid this month, or I'm stressed because I didn't accomplish this goal, or work stress. The same brain, the same area here is what is activated, that amygdala. So understand that when you are in a hijack, this is why they tell you not to make decisions when you are emotional. Not exactly true. Emotions are great to have and be very helpful in decision making. What you don't want to do is make decisions when you are hijacked. So that is a hijack. Strong emotional reaction, sudden onset, regret later. Start thinking about some times when I see Anika, I see you, that you've had this happen with your sons. I know Emmatae's got 3 little ones as well. I got teenagers, so I understand. And this is where hijacks come from. That little tiny piece of your brain. Here are the steps that you go through. So your body goes through an alarm. Your body will start to fill with hormones, adrenaline. This is when your body prepares for action. It does that by your breathing gets shallow. You can just feel, you ever said, I feel like I'm just boiling, right? Your muscles tighten. This is the caveman, if you will, response to getting prepared for battle. But your body doesn't know that you're not being eaten by a tiger. It's doing the same thing. It's preparing you the same way when you have a hijack, when somebody cuts you off in traffic, or when your sons or daughters say something that blows you up. And we're going to get to figure out a little bit what that is. So after the body is prepared for action, then the neocortex shuts off. It shuts down. The whole thinking part of your brain has shut down. So your choices now are narrowed to fight, flight, or freeze. Out of all the decisions that you can make in when your brain is thinking, you don't have access to that anymore once you have been hijacked by the amygdala. I see, Mom, you're saying count to 10 and take a deep breath. So those are excellent ways to do it, but I want you to understand why those are great ways to do it, to calm down, because breathing and counting activate the neocortex. This part of the brain, the thinking part, has now been accessed. You can't breathe, you can't count unless you are thinking and using that part of the brain. So that's why people tell you, take a deep breath and count to 10. Because now you're getting back into that logical part of your brain, and now you have more choices available to you other than fight, flight, and freeze. All right, does that make sense? Making sense to everybody? Good. So here's what's going on in your body. You have little to no ability to rely on intellect or reasoning. It's gone at this point. You have a decrease in memory. You ever been so mad you just forgot what everything was going on? You just forgot what happened. You just kind of blacked out. That's your amygdala hijack. Your logic is suppressed. You're no longer rational. Here's a big one for me. This is present. The adrenaline is present in your body and rushing for up to 18 minutes. That's a long time. And then it takes 3 to 4 hours to clear out of your system. Let's marinate on that a little bit. So if you get cut off in traffic, right? Or if on the way to work, the kids are being children and being unruly, and you have gotten hijacked, and you go to work and you have an early morning meeting, and you are still hijacked up to 3 to 4 hours later, are you going to be as effective as a leader in that meeting as you would before? So if you know and you're aware that I've still got this adrenaline running through my body, and it's got to take 3 or 4 hours to clear out, at least you're aware and you can change some of your behaviors. Okay, it's exhausting. It can exhaust your entire system. Have you ever just been so mad that afterwards you were just tired? This is why. All right, it is literally like losing 10 to 15 IQ points temporarily. Okay, so you go immediately in an instant. You have no ability to reason. Your memory is bad. You've got all these hormones flowing through your body, and you're exhausted, and you have literally lost IQ points. Okay, that's what's happening in your body. So now that I've talked about this, now you can begin to notice what is happening in your body to trigger these hijacks. So there's good news. The good news is that the brain is capable of change. All right. And I know that we have told ourselves that we've gotten to a certain age and, can't teach old dog new tricks and that sort of thing. But the brain, it can change and can make new connections and learn new behaviors. You can literally rewire your brain. It's called neuroplasticity. Okay, and so those are the things we're going to be working on in this group. We're going to start with self-awareness, and so we're going to start today. So I stole this from eHarmony long time ago when I was, dating. I had they ask you the must-haves and the can't-stands. Now these are some of them. These are just examples. What I want you to do is take a look at this list, and I want you to begin to see what comes up for you, things that you must have in your life or things that you cannot stand. And I want you to get a good list of 10. Okay? So some people, and start putting those in the chat for me. Write down 10 of these, or make up your own, doesn't have to be these. Some people have to have love. That's something I must have. Must have respect. Must be accepted. Things must be fair. I must be able to trust you. Start writing those down. Start putting those in the chat for me. Things I can't stand: clutter, know-it-alls, stealing, cheating. Must have control, must have respect. Must have God, love, charity, clarity. Good, Amte. Inner peace, humor, friendship, mind expanding conversation, order and cleanliness. Okay. Clutter, disrespect. Can't stand clutter, can't stand disrespect. Okay, those are good. Those are really good. So if you had to, yes, chocolate and Macy's, absolutely, my girl. So if you had to narrow that list down, give me one or two. If you had to, let's see, like Anika, you have a lot here. Can you narrow that down to one or two? Unreliability. That's a good one. Okay. So unreliability. If you are, if you feel someone is unreliable, and Anika, I'm just gonna pick on you. If you feel somebody is unreliable, what are they? Or is that how does that make you feel? Are you you feel disrespected, or what is happening there? Amate, if you want to join in, you can. Arrogance, I see. Okay. Not good to work with. All right, good. Y'all are getting it. Y'all are getting it. All right. So if you have a must have or a can't stand that is someone is being unreliable, okay, then when you feel someone is doing that, that could possibly be one of your triggers. So I want you as homework, guys, to think about what happened the last time you lost it. If anybody can think of something now, you'd be happy to put that in. Yeah, don't trust unreliable people. Yep, trust, love, right. So I'll give you a trigger of mine to help you understand what I'm getting at. So one of my triggers is when I felt like my intelligence was being insulted. So if you're insulting my intelligence, I felt that was my trigger, and I tended to lash out at people like that. I'd throw my degrees around. I would tell them how smart I was, etc. And that was a big trigger for me. And that's not good to react that way. So until I started to do the work, I started to understand. So the work I did was I figured out that I related being smart to being loved. Okay, because my family gave me a lot of praise and attention behind, oh, you're so smart, that's great, it's wonderful. So if someone insults my intelligence, what I'm hearing is I'm not worthy of being loved. Okay, so that's the trigger. Now, when I can figure that out, now that I'm aware, and that's why you'll see in our logo, awareness and action, now that I'm aware that that's my trigger, then and only then can I say, okay, it's not this person here in front of me that is wronging me, doing me wrong. It is that feeling I got when I was younger. All right. So that's the work I want you guys to do. So I want you to think about the last time that you lost it and what happened. Not feeling heard. Okay, ignored, dismissed. Yeah, that's a big one for me and Nika too. Ignored. If I have to tell you more than once, you're ignoring me. Exactly. So think one step beyond that is to try to figure out an event where you felt ignored in the past, and maybe that is relatable to being, your fundamentals of being loved and being smart enough and being good enough, and all of that. So that's the work we're going to do this month. And we're going to do that in the coach chat. So when you go there, and I'll show you that in a little bit, when you go there, that's what I want you to be putting in there, is the last time that you lost it. And let's see if we can really narrow down and identify what your personal triggers are, as well. So, yep, love and being in charge. Firstborns, yes, for sure. I see you, Anika. That is the truth. Love and being in charge. So if you feel like you're not in charge or you're not in control of things, then you're not feeling that love, and that's going to trigger you. Just recognize that you're doing that, and you'll be able to change your behavior. It's not going to change that you're triggered. And I want you to understand that we're not trying to stop these triggers. You can't, but you can notice them. You can be aware of them, and you can change course. All right. So that's the lesson for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that short little lesson there. We're going to continue that this month in a coach chat. So I do want to show you coach chat. Hold on, I hope you can see my screen. Right here. Everybody see, this is the coach chat where you're going to be. If you don't have access to this yet, send me a message or text or something, and I'll make sure you get access to this. Anika, I know you've put your goals in as well, but here's where you want to add your goal, create a new goal, and your evidence of success in your first domino. And then there's a button that says get coached, and you'll click that coach. Do you not see that? Everybody not seeing that? Let me share. Hold on. Y'all see that now? All right, there it is. Okay, so you seeing that this is your coach chat here. This. So you want to go in and put that in there, and then there's a button that says get coached. That's where I want you to talk a little bit about your triggers, and then I will be giving you feedback. I do that on Mondays and Thursdays, but this is going to be how we communicate here on a weekly basis through Coach Chat. Safe space in here, safe space in there, to really dig deep and talk about your triggers. So that's what we're going to work on as well. All right. Let me share. Okay, I'm changing screens. All right, so we're going to wrap up here just a little bit. So here are the to-dos for this week. Go to Coach Chat, update your November goals, look for feedback from me on Mondays and Thursdays. So we'll see you guys in the chat certainly on Monday. I'll be reviewing them all weekend. I want you to go to the Facebook page. If you're not on our Facebook page, let me know so I can invite you. It looks like this. Hold on. Looks like this. So I want you to go to your Facebook page and share, introduce yourself to each other, and begin to share some triggers and some takeaways from today's lesson. All right. Then the final, changing these slides. Okay, go and complete the survey. Anika, I have yours, and I have Faith's. She's not here. So if you have not received the email with the survey link, let me know. I'll get that back out to everybody. It's just a quick survey to let me know kind of what your goals are, and it'll help me customize, the trainings to what you guys are really looking for. Make sure you put the events on your calendar. We're going to be meeting first Thursdays is the huddle, and then the halftime is the third Thursday. Halftimes are going to be a little bit different because we're going to have what we call hot seats. So one of you or two of you, whoever, will volunteer to be on the hot seat, be on camera, and we will kind of go through and dig a little bit deeper, do some deeper work. You'll register for that and let me know what it is you want to kind of work on, and we can go from there. So the next meeting will be our halftime, November 16th at 7 p.m. Central Time as well. So is there any, if you want to put in the chat, please, if you'll put just kind of your one takeaway from today's lesson, and then we'll wrap up. One takeaway, one aha moment. You cannot change your trigger. That's right, Anika. You cannot change it. So a lot of people are saying, well, they're trying to stop these things from happening. That's just going to make it worse. You cannot change it. You can only notice it. These things will continue to trigger you. It's just a matter of now you're aware of it. And if you can, yes, Amate, you will be aware, accept it, and then grow from there. And then I want you, as I said before in the beginning, to pay it forward and teach the people that you all lead to notice what's going on within them. And once you can notice your own, you can notice other people's triggers, and then you can kind of have a little bit of mercy on them because you're like, I know what you're going through as well. So cool. Super fun today. I really appreciate you guys starting out to be, my first founding members in this group. I hope you learned a little bit today. Please, if you know people who want to join, please let me know. We're going to get more and more content. So just continue to check your emails for updates, continue to check the Facebook page as well, and to participate in Coach Chat. So this is, in closing, this is our vision here as a group. We are a community of unapologetically driven women dedicated to leading our fields through self-awareness and targeted action for the purpose of improving our own lives and the lives of those we serve. So as we conclude, that's what I want to leave you with. Be unapologetically driven, you guys, and get out there and really try to improve some lives. All right. I will see you guys in Coach Chat. Love y'all. See you soon.